Ivica Zubac is currently one of the most underrated players in the NBA and a crucial contributor to the Clippers' success this season. In fact, Tyronn Lue's squad is exceeding every expectation, despite Kawhi Leonard missing numerous games and the team lacking a true superstar. This achievement is due to a well-organized system on both ends of the court and players with essential skills that make the system thrive. One of them is the Croatian center, who has improved in many areas this season. As a result, he has taken on more responsibilities and has had a greater impact on both the offense and defense of his team. Let's start with some numbers. Zubac's on-off net rating, which is the difference between the team net rating when he's playing and the team net rating when he's not, is plus 12.8, and that puts him in the 96th percentile for this metric. But what is really impressive about this statistic is how his presence is positive on both ends of the court. When he's on the floor, the Clippers are 7.3 points per 100 possessions better on offense, and 5.5 better on defense. These are massive differentials. There are very few players in the league with this kind of impact on both ends. But Zubac helps his team in many crucial ways. One of them is rebounding the ball. He's not only the fourth best rebounder in the NBA with 12.6 boards per game, but also the key for denying second chance points for the Clippers' opponents. When he's on the bench, the opponents rebound on average 28.8% of their misses, which would classify the Clippers as the 20th team in the league. But when the Croatian plays, this percentage drops to 24.2%, which is significantly better than the 25.3% recorded by the best team in the NBA this season. The 4.6 difference between the two percentages puts him in the 96th percentile among all bigs. But there are some interesting stats about his defense too. First, there's his elite ability to defend without fouling. If we look at the on-off differential on opposing teams' free throws, we see that they shoot 8.9 less fouls shots per 100 possessions when Zubac is playing, making him the best in the league in this category. He only commits 2.5 fouls per 100 possessions, and that's one of the reasons why he's an underrated defender. He's then the 7th player for contested shots per game in the whole league, and 5th for percentage points difference among the players who defend at least 15 shots per game. The last statistic I mentioned is the difference between the normal percentage of a shooter on shots throughout the season and the percentage on shots when the defensive player is guarding the shooter. And then there's the offense, which is the part I'm going to analyze the most in this video, with not only stats but some broken down clips too. But before that, just know that you can follow me on IG too. There you'll find exclusive content tailored for creative basketball minds that wants to have a scientific perspective on basketball, different from how the traditional media typically portrays it. You can find my profile link in the description. Thank you to everyone who decides to support me. Back to Zubac, one thing that immediately stands out while watching him is his paint presence. The fact that he's a great inside scorer makes him have paint gravity. That means the defense has to focus on him when he receives near the basket. As a consequence, the defense often tends to collapse towards the paint when Zu receives the ball, meaning that the perimeter shooters have more space to pull the trigger. This play was designed to make Zubac receive near the basket. First, he fakes the handoff for Coffee. Then, he passes it to Powell to play a pick and roll with him. He does a great job of sealing his defender off, and the defense notices it. Tyrese Martin is already in the paint ready to help, and Jalen Wilson is positioned to help too. So when the Croatian receives, the defense rotates and the center makes the right read. Same concept here, with Dort attracted by Zubac's gravity. There are other reasons why the team shoots better from outside the arc when Zu is on the court. One of them is his ability to be a great handoff screener. In fact, these things translate to statistics. If we look at cleaning the glass data, we notice some remarkable facts. Having Zubac on the court means for the Clippers shooting 8.6% better from the corners and 5.5% better from above the break. Once again, these are not small differences but significant improvements that go unnoticed most of the times. In particular, Zubac is utilized as the big man in the frequent Chicago actions ran by Tyronn Lue. The Chicago action is an offensive action in which a player receives a pin-down screen and then receives a dribble handoff. This is the reason why James Harden and Norman Powell are often positioned in the corners, so they can be receivers on this play. And that's what happens here. Zu receives. Harden comes off Dunn's pin down, and the center hands it off to the former MVP. Zubac is crucial for this type of action for his rolling skills too. And he can be a needle threader too, as you see in this Chicago variation. But let's get back to his importance for the team perimeter shooting, because there are still a couple of aspects that need to be broken down. He's a post-up threat, so teams can decide to double-team him when he's back to the basket. But he reads these situations well and knows how to find the shooters. This play is a good example of it. Podziemski sees the mismatch and decides to help his teammate, but Anderson gambles for the steal and lets Zu spin off his left shoulder. So Kuminga has to help, and the Croatian makes a great pass for the open Batum. Some of you might ask why anyone should double Zubac on post-ups, and the reason is in the numbers. He's the NBA leader in post-up frequency with 28.8%, with 4 percentage points over Nikola Jokic, second in this list. Then he shoots 58.9% on hook shots on 231 attempts this season, and he's particularly lethal when he can shoot them with his right hand, spinning off his left shoulder. In addition to that, his physicality and footwork helps him when he has to punish smaller defenders. The second aspect is his decision-making ability, especially as a short roller. I can't stress enough how important this characteristic is for his team, because Harden is often blitzed out of pick and rolls, especially when Kawhi Leonard isn't playing, so the Clippers need someone like Zu that can capitalize on the numerical advantage. He's also smart in his reads. Here he fakes the pass by looking at Powell, so Podziemski commits to the passing lane, and Zu has an easy dunk. But this is by far the Clippers' favorite action. Zubac sets a screen for Harden at the top of the key, with Leonard and Powell well spaced, and, most importantly, Derrick Jones Jr. in the corner. So when Zu short rolls, the low man has to help, and DJJ is free to cut to the basket. And they can run this play for consecutive possessions too. This action was made popular by Golden State, with Curry as the blitzed ball handler, Green as the short roller, and Iguodala as the corner cutter. One thing the Clippers rely on is the Harden-Zubac connection. They play tons of two-man games together, with the former Rocket that has assisted the Croatian on 143 occasions, more than any other two-player combination in the entire league. This is the result of what we saw previously. Blitzing Harden is not a good choice since Zubac is a great short roller. Switching means conceding two mismatches on players that can punish them in different ways, and dropping ends up in what you're seeing in these clips. So an alley-oop for Zoo. And the last fact I want to share with you is how good the Clippers' starting lineup is. The lineup composed by Harden, Powell, Jones Jr., Leonard, and Zubac is the best in the NBA since the 1st of January, with 26.6 as its net rating. There are many reasons why it works so well. The first one is that they're versatile and have three amazing defenders in Leonard, Jones Jr., and Zubac. Offensively, they have elite short creators in Powell, Harden, and Leonard, a smart cutter in Jones, and an all-around center in Zubac, with a solid coach like Tyronn Lue orchestrating this team. Once you put this all together, you find out why the Clippers are competitive despite all the adversities they faced, and why they might be tough to beat in the playoffs. And this was all you needed to know about Ivica Zubac and his LA Clippers. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel. And if you're interested in more content like this, I remind you that you can find my IG profile link in the description. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.